The next module is OCP to AXA converter. So here the functionality is to get a complete OCP read return packet and send it across the AXA read return channel. So this is how we implement the OCP AXA converter. We will add a FIFO in each converter 1 and 2 to hold the input of OCP read return packet, and whenever we have valid entry available and whenever this AXA read data channel is ready, we will pop out from the FIFO and send the packets one by one. So again, to send a data packet of say with length 16, it needs 16 clock cycles minimum, and till then only one entry will be popped out from the internal FIFO. Here the FIFO is added within these two modules, that is the OCP to AXA converter 1 and 2, and note here. So the reason is we are using two different FIFOs for separate AXI masters 1 and 2, and thus we are not holding the AXI OCP read return interface even if one particular master is not ready to accept the read return, or whenever one particular FIFO is full. So this module, the OCP read return front end will just pack all the 16 maximum 16 data packets and give it as a single packet, and that packet will be saved in two different FIFOs in these two modules. So these two modules are again same, it is instantiated twice in the top module. Now we will go through the implementation details of OCP to AXA converter. So this is a diagram of the OCP to AXA converter. So here when we are getting a complete read return packet, data packet with ID, length and maximum 16 data, and we will be writing this packet to the FIFO when it is not full and whenever there is a valid packet available in the input of this module. And we can, if you want, you can drive up the holdout which is not equal to the FIFO full condition. It can be used internally or outside this module. And again this FIFO is popped out whenever a read data interface is ready and the FIFO is not empty. So this is a AXA read data channel and there is a ready signal that is driving from the master. So whenever the master is ready, you can pop out the next entry from the FIFO if the FIFO is not empty, and that data popped out will have the ID, length and the maximum 16 data, and these data has to be separated into 16 different datas from the whole packet and send it one by one. So that combinational logic should be there, which is done by a multiplexer. Now we will go through the coding part of this OCP to AXA converter. So this is a module OCP to AXA converter. It's having an input clock reset, and again its input is coming as an AXA read data channel dot master. Because this is a master in the read data channel, our DUT is the master as it is returning the data, and its handle will be coming to this module. And again there is an optional input hold. Also the complete OCP read return packet and its valid information will be coming to this module, and the output is a holdout which can be used to drive the OCP interface to holdout. So you can see that the actual output is a data output which will be driven in the this read data interface one. So these are the internal signals used. So a FIFO is instantiated with the width of this OCP response packet size with the depth 4, and these are the read and write signals going to this FIFO, which we will see now. So the data FIFO write enable is equal to whenever we have a valid packet available and there is no input holding, and there is if the FIFO is not full. So whenever there is a free space in this FIFO and there is no input holding coming through to this module and a valid packet available, we will write the input complete OCP read return packet to this FIFO. So the data, you can see that the data which is going into this FIFO is the complete OCP packet, and the holdout which is going out of this module will be equal to the data full condition, the FIFO full condition. Now we will read from this FIFO whenever the read response channel, that is the read data AXA read data channel is ready. So here data FIFO read enable is equal to whenever we have a valid entry in this FIFO, that is the FIFO is not empty, and whenever the read data interface .rread is asserted and d count is equal to 0. So once we read out from this FIFO, you need to send the packet one by one to the AXA read data channel. Thus This packet updated is again another internal signal, which is nothing but the data output of this FIFO. And so this packet update is again a type of AXI data packet. And once you have the information or FIFO is read out to this packet updated, you need to flop this updated packet to another internal register. The reason is, once you read out from the FIFO pointer will be incremented, and from the next very moment, from the next very clock, the FIFO will be pointing to the next entry in the FIFO. Thus, if you are not saving the updated packet into a flop, you will lose the information, so that you will not be able to transmit the data from D1 to D15. Thus, this packet updated is again flopped into another register called packet. So we have a packet and packet updated. The packet updated is carrying out the information when the packet was just got updated, and packet is a flopped version of the packet updated. So in simple words, packet updated is a FIFO readout, and the packet is a flopped version of the FIFO readout, and this flop is enabled only when we are reading from the FIFO. Thus, this packet will be updated to the packet updated only when there is a FIFO read enabled. Thus, throughout the operation of sending this packet to the AXI data channel, this packet will remain the same. Once we have read out from that FIFO, we need to send the packet to the AXI data channel. So you can see that the read data interface dot R valid is equal to when we read out from the FIFO, or when the D count is not equal to 0. So this is the point when we update the first packet, and this is the point when we send the subsequent data. And the interface dot RID is equal to, if it was a point that is reading from the FIFO, then it will be equal to packet updated dot ID. Otherwise, otherwise it will be equal to the packet dot ID, which is nothing but the flopped version of the packet updated. Now the read data interface dot R data is equal to D out, and you can see that again D out is an output of a 16 input multiplexer. So the updated packet and the packet data, that is packet dot D15 to packet dot D1, and the packet updated dot D0, these are sent as an input to a 16 input multiplexer, and its select line is selected as the D count. So the D count will be incremented by 1 on every clock. You can see that D count next is equal to, will be incrementing whenever we are sending a valid information in the interface, and whenever we are getting the R last point, it will be reset to 0. Otherwise, it will be equal to D count, the previous value. Thus, based on the D count value, we are selecting out of the 16 data which is available in the packet and the packet updated. We can see that the D0 is present in the packet updated, and all the data from D1 to D16 is available in the packet, and its output is sent to another signal called this D out, and its output of the multiplexer, and D out is assigned to the R data, which is nothing but the read data in the AXI data channel. And again, AXI data channel dot R last is equal to the R last that we had derived here. So this is a complete module description of the OCP to AXI converter, and now we will see how these modules are instantiated in the top level module, that is the interconnect.